Hello everyone, this is Lincolnus Prime, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast number 104 Deluxe class, Nightbird. Now, this was a figure I was pretty excited for ever since the mainline release came out, and this one is just... it's way better in hand than what the the online images perceive. This is a really good figure. Now, kind of taking a look at the vehicle mode, Nightbird here does turn into a Nissan Skyline R33. Or is it 32? It's either 32, 33, or 34. I can't really remember. I'm pretty sure it's the 33. But this is one of my favorite cars, at least the 32s through 34s, because of the fact that one of them, I believe it was the 32 though, is nicknamed Godzilla. But even if it's not specifically the Godzilla, I just love the GTR model in general, and this captures the look of a GTR like perfectly. Not GTR, maybe it's GTR. I don't know. I'm still learning car language, but sorry. Anyways, but this looks really, really nice. One thing that I appreciate more about this is the fact that this actually has like clear like windshields, unlike the mainline release, which didn't have them. But it just looks so much better on here, and I actually really like the interior. So it's a little hard to see, but the interior looks a little bit more realistic. Like that looks like a believable interior. Like you can see like seats there, you can see like the steering wheel section there. Like it from the silhouette of it, it looks realistic, but then you look at all of that and it's like, no. But yeah, moving in, this looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. We do get a purple Terracon logo right here in the center, which does look very nice. We get some, kind of metallic purple hubcaps for the wheels and or rims, I should say, and they look very, very nice. I absolutely love that metallic purple. Speaking of metallic, we also get metallic like bronze on the sides, which looks really cool. We get more of that kind of in here as well for the headlights, for the bumper, for these smaller details right here in these lining sections there. Get some red for the taillights, which looks very, very nice. And that's pretty much about it when it comes to paint. I mean, some of this is also painted, like this is painted, these parts are painted. My only gripe is the fact that they didn't color match this very well, but at least it's not as bad as the main line, and it's not horrible. At least it looks like it color matches enough. But this just looks super, super cool. Now, for a comparison, I am going to pull in the main line Nightbird, and as you can see, there are a lot of differences but a lot of similarities as well. These two are very similar figures, but excuse me, in terms of the design of the vehicle, this is an inaccurate GTR, but that's because they didn't have the licensing for the vehicle mode. It's close enough, I guess. There are some similarities that you could probably see in terms of like all of that, but at the same time, this is a little bit thicker than this because this is more accurate. This is just they couldn't make it accurate to a GTR because they didn't have this. The specific team that made this figure didn't have the rights to the the Nissan, so yeah, so they weren't able to pull it off. But personally, I just prefer the look of the Studio Series better over this, and I don't know who wouldn't at this point. I mean, the main line has some stuff going for it, but the Studio Series is just way, way better in my opinion. Like, I like mainline, but come on, you gotta but yeah, kind of looking at from the sides, you got like the purple rims, you got like the kind of bronze base, you get it on both sides. Only thing I think is a little bit more interesting is the yellow painted for the headlights, and we don't get that on here, but that's okay to me because I feel like this is just more realistic. But yeah, for other comparisons, I am going to be here is the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal, my previous Rise of the Beast review, so there's that. And I am going to be pulling in the there he is. I am going to be pulling in the other Studio Series Terracons, and here we have all three Terracons together from Rise of the Beasts, and oh my Primus, this looks absolutely amazing having all of these all together. And yeah, it's complete, kind of. Well, I mean, I have Freezer, but I don't have the Novocaine figure just yet. I'm still missing 3 of the Studio Series figures, so yeah. But you know, we have the 3 Terracons, and these look amazing together. You can even pull off the you know, the whatever, you know, when they took the pictures, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so you know, we have all the Terracons now, and you know, I love that. I don't have to use that mainline figure because holy crap, it just did not go well with Scourge and Battle Trap here. But you know, yeah, so very nice looking vehicle mode. But I feel like I've talked about the vehicle mode enough as I wanted to, so let's get down to the transformation. And here we have the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast number 104 Deluxe Class Nightbird in her robot mode, and she looks fantastic. There is a lot, and I mean a lot, of really nice detail on this figure, and it just looks way more accurate than the mainline figure, and just a lot better. Kind of moving in on the head sculpt, we do get that kind of clear purple visor. Excuse me, wow, that was a voice crack of the century. Clear purple visor at the top of the head, which looks really nice. The eyes are painted red. Either they're painted or they're molded in, I can't really tell, but the face is painted silver and the rest of it is just this regular gray. The chest, I mean, we pretty much saw the chest, but it does close up very nicely, kind of, you know, pretty much the same thing that we saw in vehicle mode, so there's that. You know, the arms have like some purple painted on them on these little sections right here at the top, but the majority of the arms are just molded in black and dark gray plastic. Rest of it, you know, there's a little bit of gold paint right here at the brim of this, like, you know, skirt kind of piece, I guess. So that's pretty cool. We get these side skirt pieces, which are very similar to the main line, and we get some gold painted on these sections right here on the shins, which looks very nice. In terms of paint, there's not a lot, but it doesn't really need a lot, because, I mean, the character of Nightbird was very monochromatic. There not a lot of color just in general, so, you know, I'm not going to complain too much. Now, one complaint I could have is the backpack, but I don't really care anymore. I'm at the point where it doesn't really bother me anymore how the backpack looks, and it looks accurate enough to me, which, you know, I'm not going to, you know, gripe too much, and it looks mechanical. It looks like it, you know, but we do get some more purple on these wing parts right there, and that's pretty much about it when it comes to you know, molded and painted detail. It just looks very nice, especially proportionately. The proportions on this figure are very good in my opinion. But yeah, so Nightbird does look very nice. Now, she does come with her katana, I guess you know, it's a thing. It is molded in dark gray, but it is painted with black over here on the blade, and it looks pretty nice. There's a lot of, you know, pretty cool looking molded detail. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. Lots of nice, cool molded detail, and of course it stops focusing. But yeah, so, and there are, so she can hold it, of course. You know, she could hold it in her hand like that, and she could hold it in both hands, of course, because that's, you know, we're used to it. And one thing that is cool, so there are a few storage options. Now this is the stupidest one to me. So there's a peg right here, and you could just peg it on the back, but that's just going to stick out the back like that. So instead, there is a little peg right here on the side, and that little slot will just slide over, and there you go, and you have sword storage, and I love the way that that looks. Now, my only true gripe with this is the fact that it didn't come with the second sword, and I don't see how that would have added to like much cost for the budget of this figure, but I'm not going to complain too much because I just used the sword from the mainline Nightbird, and while it can't store anywhere, you know, it gives her, you know, a second sword. So if she wants to have two swords, then you could do that. So that's something that that's something I like to do. Now, when it comes to Nightbird's articulation, we do have a ball joint at the head, which allows her to look up that far and down, not at all, side to side, but not too much because of these huge pieces that kind of block and hinder the movement from going any further. But that's pretty much about it for the head. Arms about that much, and in about that much. Full rotation on a ball joint, and a little bit of in and out movement at the joint within, like the joint attached to the ball. You know what I mean. This part does move out, you know, so you do have movement there. We do get a swivel at the waist, which can go all the way around, but not really. Holy crap, that almost cut me. And this part is annoying as hell right here. This is my biggest gripe with this figure. It's just this part just untaps consistently, so that's annoying. But the legs do kick, well, I'm not gonna, oh my god. Yeah, this isn't very fun to maneuver, I'm not gonna lie. Legs can kick forward about that much, back about that much. We do get a double jointed knee, kind of, so that is pretty interesting. We can't go out all that way. We do get splits at the legs, which is always appreciated, and we do get a pivot at the ankle, and we'll do the transformation and a slight pivot at the foot, but that's really about it when it comes to articulation. It is a bit limited, which isn't much of a surprise because of just how kibbly this figure is, but it's not horrible. I'm still able to pull off like certain poses with this, so you know, it's not bad. Now, for a quick size comparison, here we have the Studio Series Nightbird next to the last Studio Series figure I reviewed, the Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Primal, the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime, the Rise of the Beasts mainline Nightbird, and as you can see, the mainline figure, funnily enough, is actually bigger than the Studio Series figure. So that's interesting. But in terms of who looks better, yeah, Studio Series get like. With the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Scourge and Battle Trap. And here we have all of the Transformers Rise of the Beast Terracons, except for Freezer and Nova Cannon, just the main three. Here we have the main three Terracons all together, and they just look so good all together. I love the way that these look. I think that they scale pretty decently. I feel like Nightbird might be a little too small. But I'm assuming that, you know, the vehicle modes were probably thought about more so over the robot modes because, well, it's Studio Series, so that makes sense. But I will say that for me, at least, the scaling here looks pretty decent. I mean, Scourge, you know, he's towering over them. You know, he's the big guy, he's the leader, and that makes sense. But yeah, so all these, you know, they just look so good. And once I get Nova Can, I'll have officially have all, technically 5 of the main Terracons, and I cannot wait to pick that one up so I can have all of the Terracons together, because just this alone looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, now for my final comments on the figure, I'm gonna have to say I highly recommend it. I very much highly recommend it. It is really, really good. The way, just the engineering on this, like, sure, it's basic, it's pretty much the same as the mainline figure, but the way that they do certain things a little bit better than the mainline is really nice. Paint apps are solid in my opinion, because there's not too much that needs to be there. I love the head sculpt so much. I love that like clear purple, just like visor over the head. I love the way that that looks. The purple rims, all that kind of stuff. It just looks very, very nice. It is small. I will say that. I feel like she's a little too small again, but the Mirage figure that came out recently is supposed to scale around kind of close to the same size as her, like canonically in the film at least. So I feel like that might, at least be it might be accurate just due to that factor, but yeah, it's a very nice figure in my opinion. I did pick it up for about, I got on Hasbro Pulse for about $25, and no, more like $35, yeah, because shipping. Oh my god. But yeah, I'd say it's pretty worth it. If you can get her online for maybe a little bit cheaper, maybe even find her in stores, then I recommend doing so, because you're just gonna get it for a lot cheaper. But yeah, very nice figure. Articulation, not the best, but I'm not going to expect too much from a figure of this size. It's pretty good for what it is. A lot of people do complain about the fact that the wings are tiny. That's just what they look like in their stored mode. Those aren't the actual like flared out wings. Those are just like what they look like stored. So I don't really care that much. I think it looks fine. Yeah, so in terms of everything else about this figure, really, really good. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much about it for this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.